欢迎导演那达夫拉匹。
Hello，
非常高兴邀请到导演您来到我们的线上的金马影展的线上的跟大家打招呼。那是否可以请导演在一开始先跟台湾的观众说几句话？
Thank you for being with us today. And hopefully, at the beginnings, before we screen the film, can you tell us a bit about the film and yourself?
About the film in general, about the film.
我想可以稍稍的因为今天来看片的观众大部分都还没有看过您的这部作品，虽然这是金马的第2场放映，但大部分的观众应该都还是第一次看您的片子，所以可以请您简单的介绍一下这部片子的拍摄的背景跟拍摄的动机。
Because this is the second screening in the Golden Horse Film Festivals, and many of this audience here probably haven't seen this film before, so maybe you can tell us about the motivation, the inspiration behind this film.
Yeah, actually, Ahed's Needs is on this sense is very different from my previous films. It was a film that was prepared with a huge feeling of urgency. Everything happened extremely fast because the feeling was that there's no time, that it must happen here and now. The script writing took 2 weeks and a half. For instance, for my previous film, Synonyms, it took 2 years. Several months later, we already started to shoot. The shooting took 18 days, editing 2 months. Everything happened so quickly because I mean, there was a feeling that this urgency is not only an element of fabrication, but it's the real essence in a way of the movie.
对我来说，它出于它的作品整个内容当中，跟前一部作品《出走巴黎》有很大的不同。那这部作品其实充满了很多迫切感，很多急迫感，认为很多时候很多事情必须要在当时、当下、现在立刻发生。所以其实我这部片的作品，相对于前一部作品《出走巴黎》，它前后写剧本就花了2年时间。这一次这部作品《荒漠奥德赛》，其实前后剧作只大概花了2个半礼拜，或者甚至3个礼拜以内的时间就完成的这个剧本，然后大概几个月之后就开始进行拍摄，所以2个之间的时间感有很大的差异。
I mean, I don't want to reveal too much, but in April 2018, I got a phone call from a bureaucrat from the Israeli Ministry of Culture, who very nice, gentle, intelligent, curious, cultivated young woman who knew very well my cinema and invited me for a screening of one of my previous films, The Kindergarten Teacher, somewhere in a small village in the middle of the desert.
开始的时候是2018年4月，当时我接到一通电话，来自于以色列的文化部。当时打电话来这位女性，她其实非常年轻，听起来非常有教养。然后呢，她其实非常的温和，非常客气。她邀请我到一个以色列当地的小镇去参加我的另外一部作品《吾爱吾诗》的放映活动。
And it was only at the end that of this nice conversation that she mentioned a form that I should sign, precising the topics of my out of the list, the topics of my intervention of my talk after the movie, and in a way giving a kind of promise that I will not talk about anything else but this.
聊天非常愉快，他非常的熟悉我的作品。他到最后的时候提到说，我们必须要请你先签一张表格，这个表格里面就会列出说，你这一次在这个映后座谈里面会提到什么主题，然后列了很多清单可以让你勾选。但是它同时也就意思是说，你除了这个勾选以内的勾选的项目之外呢，不能够探讨其他的主题。
And since it was like the harshest days of censorship in Israel, like it's not that today it's really different, but it was really kind of a peak. So, I mean, for me, it was pretty evident what's happening here, and I felt in a way that I mean, I was already in a kind of, I was editing my previous film, Synonyms, with the editor, who was my mother, who was already detected by a severe lung cancer. So I think that I was like very, I mean, in a way I couldn't have any distance from what I've been thinking to what I've been saying. So I told her in a very clear way, something like, I understand that you don't accept opinions that are not yours, or something like this.
我当时呢正在做前一部作品，也就是《书走巴黎》的剪辑工作。那我的剪辑师其实就是我的母亲，她跟我非常亲密。她当时其实已经有罹患了非常严重的肺癌。在这种情况之下，其实我当时已经身心俱疲的时候，我就告诉了这位文化部的官员说，这个对我来说就是言论审查。然后呢，我没办法告诉，就是让大家能够完全不能够畅所欲言的情况之下来出席一个参加这样的活动。
And in a very surprising way, she was very sincere. She told me something like, yeah, I'm not very proud of what I'm doing now. It's really terrible. And then she insisted, but please sign this form. So I will not keep on telling the story because I'm going to see it in the movie, but I was hesitating what to do. And at the end, I signed the form and I went to the desert for the screening of the movie, and I sent from there some short videos to my mother, who was agonizing and passed away about a month and a half later, and 2 weeks afterwards I started writing this script.
他当时其实这位文化部的官员，他也非常的同意，也有同感，对我的看法能够理解，但是还是希望我能够签这张表格。那后来我在犹豫之下，最后还是决定签了。我后来就的确到了这个沙漠小镇去参加映后座谈。那之后的内容的话，我就不爆雷，请各位等一下在看电影的时候能够自行欣赏。那我其实当时也在沙漠小镇里面拍了一些短片，后来给我母亲看。我的母亲大概在这件事情发生后1个半月左右时间就过世，而我在母亲过世之后大概2个礼拜左右，3个礼拜左右就写出了这个剧本。
And well, all of this sounds like super, I think, tragic and severe. But I hope that when you watch the movie, you'll feel that it's not a funeral, or at least it's not only a funeral, but it's also a carnival or a party of cinema. That's at least what I try to do.
但也希望各位在看这部片的时候，不会觉得这内容好像只是一出悲剧，或好像只是很激烈爆裂而已。我也希望各位能够在其中看见，我希望能够去赞颂跟歌颂电影之美。
好，那我还想请导演也跟观众介绍一下您的片名，谈谈您的片名《Ahed Tamimi》这个片名跟这个故事之间的关系是什么
So can you tell us about this title and how is this title related to the film?
Well, again, I guess it's something that you're gonna find out in about 10 minutes when the film will begin. But if I should give a kind of explanation, so Ahed in the movie is Ahed Tamimi, a Palestinian young girl from a village in the West Bank, what we call the occupied territories. Very, 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 very young. She was already like a well-known figure as a political militant, as an opposer of Israeli occupation. Already when she was 12 years old, she had the courage to confront soldiers. However, she became kind of a huge celebrity in the Middle East. When she was 16 years old, she slapped a soldier and a soldier who came to her village, to her house, or a group of soldiers. She was thrown to prison, to jail for 9 months, and then a very well-known Israeli minister regretted openly the fact that she wasn't shot in her knee. So this is the famous knee that is also the title of the film. And I mean, for many people, she's a kind of Palestinian Jeanne d'Arc. For many Israelis, she's a kind of dangerous terrorist. Anyhow, this is Ahed Tamimi that for me, there's something so so imagistic, so charismatic about her. This image of this young, courageous, beautiful girl facing these soldiers that I feel almost that I'm looking at a kind of Renaissance painting or a monument, or it's really a kind of meeting point between like art and politics and the symbolic and the imagistic and the realistic and the daily.
其实各位等一下再看这部片，大概看前10分钟就可以知道为什么这部片的作品叫做是以这个名称来作为片名。那这个其实在描述一位巴勒斯坦的女性，她住在一个非常年轻的女孩子，她自己住在巴勒斯坦的约旦河西岸，也就是所谓以色列的占领区。那这位巴勒斯坦的女孩子，她12岁的时候就已经成为在以色列还有巴勒斯坦地区家喻户晓的一位人物，因为她非常勇敢的去对抗，跟很多时候去抗拒这些以色列士兵他们的骚扰，或者是他们的这些侦查跟纠察等等。他后来16岁的时候，因为曾经跟以色列的士兵在冲突的时候呼了对方一巴掌，所以这种情况之下，他就因此遭到逮捕，然后后来也在监牢里面囚禁了9个月的时间。后来以色列的这个部长也要出来公开的表示歉意，说很抱歉，因为他当时在这个拘捕的过程里面，然后这个以色列的士兵就用枪射伤了他的膝盖，所以这个片名就因此成为了这个最后就选择以这个名字作为这部片的片名。那其实这个女孩子对我来说，她其实非常具有象征意义。她在巴勒斯坦人心目中是英雄的人物，但是在以色列人心目中，她可能是恐怖分子。所以其实这个女孩子，她的身影、她的名字、她所代表的任何一切意义，都可以刚好去汇整出来了很多以色列在当代社会现实还有政治现实之间的冲突跟各种的摩擦。
OK，Thank you， 谢谢。最后也请大家再一次以热烈的掌声，谢谢我们的导演那达夫拉匹。
Thank you for being with us today, and we'll enjoy the film. Thank you.